Will you be working with him at that time?
No, I think we should have finished the film by then. I'll be working with him from March through the end of June.
Do I ever stop working?
Oh God, yes.
I sometimes don't do a picture for a year and a half.
In March 2007, a headline from Hollywood Truth magazine stunned the world. The secret journal of Burt Lancaster found. Lancaster, the principled legend of From Here to Eternity and a man who marched with Martin Luther King Jr., had left behind a haunting final document. It wasn't a memoir, it was a list of 14 names, icons of the Golden Age, whom he labeled the most vicious people Hollywood ever produced. Who were these stars, and what drove a man like Lancaster to pen a final curse before his death? Welcome to Prestige Buzz. Today, we expose the dark side of the legends. Before we dive in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss a deep dive into Hollywood's darkest secrets.
Number 1 is Kirk Douglas, a predator beneath human skin.
The first name on the list was the man Lancaster deemed the cruelest of all, Kirk Douglas. While Douglas played dazzling heroes on screen, Lancaster's journal describes a ruthless manipulator and a monster. Beyond crushing anyone who threatened his power, Douglas allegedly abused young actresses. Lancaster cited the account of Lisa Avery, who was blacklisted in 1959 simply for declining a private dinner invitation.
More chillingly, Lancaster claimed Douglas used illegal substances to force directors and co-stars into obedience.
Anyone who defied him faced brutal consequences, being pushed into dangerous situations where silence was the only way to survive.
Number 2 is Natalie Wood, the master manipulator.
Behind the fragile image and haunting eyes of Natalie would lay a cunning strategist.
Lancaster claimed she could cry on cue to get her way. On one set, she allegedly staged a fainting spell, halting production for 10 hours just to pressure a producer into firing a co-star she disliked. Lancaster even hinted that her mysterious 1981 death wasn't an accident, but a price she paid for the deceit she had sown. He wrote, "The sea didn't kill her. It only concealed what she left behind on shore." Number 3 is Mickey Rooney, the verbal sadist.
Mickey Rooney was America's sweetheart, but Lancaster called him a verbal sadist.
Rooney allegedly relished humiliating background actors, mocking them until they crumbled, then smiling as if he'd won a prize.
The journal also details a dark history of domestic abuse. Lancaster claimed Rooney treated his wives like servants, using fear and violence to maintain control. In 1970, he reportedly slapped his wife on set because she was behind schedule, leaving her physically and emotionally shattered.
Number 4 is Elizabeth Taylor, the storm behind violet eyes.
Elizabeth Taylor may have been a queen of the screen, but Lancaster saw her as a queen of manipulation. During the 1962 filming of Cleopatra, she reportedly shut down production for 14 hours because a co-star wore the same color dress as her. When the director protested, she hurled a glass of wine at his face.
Lancaster argued her marriages were calculated power transactions used to strip men of their wealth and exert total control over Hollywood.
Number 5 is Spencer Tracy, the devil in the dressing room. To the public, Spencer Tracy was a nuanced actor. To Lancaster, he was a devil. Tracy allegedly used his alcoholism as a calculated tool of terror. In 1961, on the set of Judgment at Nuremberg, he reportedly shattered a liquor bottle over a makeup artist's minor mistake. He was known to play the saint, then threatened suicide just to force a co-star into submission.
Number 6 is James Stewart, the judging manipulator.
James Stewart represented American decency, but Lancaster exposed a cold and calculating judge. Stewart reportedly kept secret notes on his co-stars' mistakes, handing them to directors to sabotage their careers. Most shockingly, Lancaster claimed Stewart used his status to avoid working with black actors in 1957, even forging documents to frame those who opposed him. He didn't need to raise his voice, Burt wrote. He just had to sit still and the entire room would feel unworthy.
Number 7 is Marilyn Monroe, the black hole.
Lancaster described Marilyn Monroe as a woman who used her fragility to paralyze entire film crews. She would vanish from sets for hours, leaving hundreds of people waiting. He also alleged she used emotional crises to manipulate powerful studio heads like Jack Warner, causing professional and personal ruin for anyone caught in her web of greed and deception.
Number 8 is Errol Flynn, the demon in glamour.
Errol Flynn's Robin Hood charm hit a predator without boundaries.
Lancaster detailed debauched parties where Flynn used his wealth to silence victims of violence.
When arrested for drug trafficking, Flynn allegedly used his industry connections to walk free and resume his crimes. To Flynn, the women he seduced were disposable tools to be discarded.
Number 9 is Bing Crosby, the master of submission.
The calm Bing Crosby allegedly reserved his worst cruelty for his family.
Lancaster's journal describes Crosby using a gaze colder than steel to mentally torment his children.
He reportedly forced his son to stand shirtless in the freezing cold as punishment for a poor grade. His son, Gary Crosby, later confirmed these horrors, stating he'd rather be the son of a criminal.
Number 10 is Gary Crosby, the distorted reflection.
Violence, according to Lancaster, is taught. Gary Crosby became a twisted mirror of his father. Shaped by a childhood of being beaten with golf clubs, Gary grew into a man who smashed windshields and assaulted girlfriends. Lancaster wrote, "He didn't know how to love, he only knew how to make people afraid."
Number 11 is Henry Fonda, the invisible judge. Henry Fonda was the symbol of justice, but Lancaster claimed he killed with silence. He was emotionally abusive to his children and allegedly drove colleagues to the brink of suicide just to assert dominance.
His discipline was merely a mask for a chilling psychological manipulation that left his family and peers in a state of perpetual fear.
Number 12 is Jane Fonda, the brainwasher.
Lancaster recounted that Jane Fonda weaponized her ideology to cancel those around her. He claimed she once demanded a cameraman be fired simply because he was a Christian. She allegedly told Lancaster, "If you're not with me, you're the enemy of justice," using her fame to alienate and harass anyone who dared to disagree with her.
Number 13 is Joan Crawford, the violence-driven problem solver.
Joan Crawford believed violence was the solution to everything. Lancaster corroborated the accounts of her daughter, Christina, regarding the infamous wire hangers. Beyond the home, she used drugs and physical aggression to create an atmosphere of terror on set, ensuring total submission from everyone in her orbit.
Number 15 is Lucille Ball, the razor-edged smile. The last name on the list is perhaps the most shocking.
Lancaster described the I Love Lucy star as a psychological dictator.
As head of Desilu Productions, she reportedly kept notebooks tracking staff mistakes. One mistake too many meant an immediate firing.
She allegedly installed hidden microphones in meeting rooms to spy on her team's loyalty.
Her laugh once saved CBS, Lancaster wrote, but that same laugh crushed the spirits of dozens. These are the untold stories of Hollywood's golden age, a bloodstained warning about the dark secrets buried beneath the glitz and glamour.
Burt Lancaster chose to reveal it all, leaving behind a legacy of truth that the industry tried for decades to hide.
What do you think of these stars? Who do you believe was the most ruthless? Let us know in the comments below.
If you found this deep dive fascinating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification to stay updated with more shocking stories here on Prestige Buzz.